Hello students, welcome back to the class. In the previous session, we are learned about the first 4 features of operating system. Okay, in this video, we are learned about the remaining key features of operating system, that is security management, file management, multiprocessing, time sharing and distributed operating system. Okay, so the first one is security management. Okay, what is meant by security management? The operating system provides 3 levels of securities to the user end. They are, okay, it should have 3 levels of security management. The first one is file access level, the second one is system level, the third one is network level. Okay, first we will see about file access level. Okay, in order to access the files created by other people, you should have the access permission. Permissions can either be granted by the creator of the file or by the administrator of the system. Okay, if we want to access one file, means the authorized person should give the permission to access her or his particular file. Okay, this is the file access level. We have to give the particular password to opening a file, means then only we can access that file of a particular administrator. Okay, this is the concept of file access level. So the second one is system level. System level security is offered by the password is a multi-user environment. For example, if we are going to the computer center, means they are put the particular password for each their systems for the security purpose. The unauthorized person should not access their computers. Okay, this is the system level security. Both Windows and Linux offer the password facility. Windows is operating system and Linux is also one kind of operating system. Both the operating systems are providing the password facility, okay, for saving our document or file. The next one is network level. Okay, network security is an indefinable one. Okay, network security is an indefinable one. So people from all over the world try to provide such a security. Okay, because saving their document or saving their file in a particular drive, means the Google Drive, means we have to give the proper security to that particular drive. Then only the unauthorized person should not access your file. All the above levels of security features are provided only by the operating system. Okay, these all are the security features provided by the operating system. Okay, this is the concept of security management. So the next topic is file management. Okay, what is meant by that? File management is nothing but it is an important function of operating system which handles the data storage techniques. Okay, it should handle the storage techniques of a data, okay, into the computer memory. The operating system manages the files, folders and directory systems on a computer. Okay, the operating system manages the files, folders and particular documents in the computer. Okay, because the file management is very important. Okay, if we want to store a particular file in a system, means we have to allocate the proper memory storage into that particular device. Okay, this is the concept of file management. Here see the figure. Here D: is the file managing drive. Okay, into that we have to create one record as a folder. Okay, we have lots of documents into that particular folder. Okay, this is the concept of file management. We have to store a particular document with the proper memory allocation. So the next point is the FAT means file acts allocation table. Okay, file allocation table stores general information about files like file name, file type, file size, then starting address and access mode. Okay, the FAT should stores the general information about the particular file, that is a kind of file name and the size of the file and the type of a file. Type means text or binary or in the form of image also. Okay, the file manager of the operating system helps to create, edit, copy, allocate memory to the files and also update the file allocation table. Okay, we are discussed in the first point. Okay, we are discussed in the first point. File management is an important function of operating system which handles the data storage techniques. So this is the main concept of file management. So these functions are managed by the file manager. Okay, this is the concept of file manager. So the next point is there are few other file management techniques are available like next generation file system, that is NTFS and ext to Linux. Okay, here we have to more than one file management techniques. Here we have to give two examples. The next generation file system, that is NTFS and Linux. Linux means ext2. This is the file management technique in Linux operating system. Okay, this is the concept of file management. So the next one is multiprocessing. The first point is this is the one of the features of operating system. Okay, it is one kind of feature of operating system, that is multiprocessing. So it has two or more processors for a single running process or job. Processing takes place in parallel is known as parallel processing. Okay, why it is called parallel processing? Multiprocessing is nothing but the user can access a same time more than one other. Okay, more than one users can access a single computer in the same time to get the proper output. This is called parallel processing. Okay, this is called multiprocessing. Since the execution takes place in parallel, this feature is used for high speed execution, which increases the power of computing. Okay, which increases it should be increase the high speed of execution and increases the power of computing. Okay, this is the parallel processing feature. Okay, so this is the concept of multiprocessing. This is the example diagram of multiprocessing concept. Okay, we have one operating system and have multiprocessors. The user can, these are the various users can access the operating system at the same time. Okay, this is the example diagram of multiprocessing. So the next one is time sharing features. Time sharing is nothing but to save a time. Okay, to save the execution time of the computer. The process should allocate a particular time to the user. So the first point is this is one of the features of operating system. It allows execution of multiple tasks or processes concurrently. Okay, it should allow the multiple tasks should be processed at the same time. Okay, it is similar to the multiprocessing system. For each task, a fixed time is allocated. Okay, We also discussed this concept in the previous session. Okay, time management. This division of time is called time sharing. Okay, we should share an execution time in a particular way, that is round robin scheduling. Okay, we also discussed in the previous video. The processor switches rapidly between various processes after a time is elapsed or the process is completed. So the next one is, here we can have one example, P1, P2, P3 and a time allocated for each process 30, 40, 50 minutes respectively. Okay, P1 have 30 and P2 have 40 and P3 have 15 minutes. Okay, so here P1 completes within 20 minutes. The process 1 completes their work within 20 minutes. Okay, P2 for the execution. So the next one is P2 for in the process of execution. Okay, if the process P2 could not complete within 40 minutes, okay, if the process P2 could not complete within 40 minutes means P2 will be passed, because the process timing of execution will be allocated only 20 minutes. Okay, P1 should be executed within 20 minutes means the P1 process is over. The next one is P2. P2 have the process, the total timing process will be 40 minutes, but P2 having the time will be only 20 minutes. Okay, P2 have finished their work, the half part, 20 minutes should be allocated to the P2, okay, process 2. The remaining 20 minutes of P2 process should be in the waiting list. So the next one is P3. P3 having the same 20 minutes duration, but it have 50 minutes. The remaining 30 minutes of process time should be in the waiting list of process 3. So this is the concept of time sharing. The time will be sharing to executed. P2 will be passed. Switch over to the next process P3. Okay, switch over to the next process P3. So this is the example of time sharing. So the next topic is distributed processing. What does mean by that? The distributed operating system is used to access shared data and files that reside in any machine around the world using internet or intranet. The users can access as if it is available on their own computer. Okay, what does mean by that? Means the distributed processing is nothing but the process should be distributed to solve their particular problem. Okay, if we have one computer means, okay, one server computer means the remaining client computer should be connected with the main server. The main server problem should be subdivided into the client systems. Okay, after that the client should solve that larger problems. The client should send the output to the server. So this is the process of distributed processing. The process should be distributed within the computers to solve the problem. Okay, here we have some advantages of distributed operating system or as follows. So the first one is, the user at one location can make use of all the resources available at another location over the network. Okay, a user at one location, okay, a user have one location can make use of all the resources available at another location over the network. So the next one is, many computer resources can be added easily in the network. Okay, many computer resources should be easily added to the network. Okay, because nowadays the world will be connected through the internet. Improves the interaction with the customers and clients. Okay, it should be improve the interaction with the customers with the clients. So the last one is, reduces the load on the host computers. The host computers is means the main client computer, the main server computer. Okay, it should reduces the load on the host computer. Okay, so the next one is prominent operating system. We all are discussed with this topic in the previous video. Prominent operating system. The first one is Unix, then Microsoft Windows, then Linux, then iOS, then Android. Here, modern operating systems can use graphical user interface. In the previous days, the Windows operating system can only support the graphical user interface concept here, but nowadays the Linux operating system also use this graphical user interface concept. Okay, the GUI lets use to your mouse to click icons, buttons, menus and everything is clearly displayed on the screen using a combination of graphics and text elements. Okay, GUI helps to identify a particular place on the computer. We have to use the mouse to pointing a particular icon on our computer. Okay, the mouse should be depend on the GUI concept. So this is the GUI uses. Okay, this is the use of GUI. So these are the examples of prominent operating systems. Okay, here we have to use this icons as an operating system. Okay, these are the icons of this kind of operating system. Can you understand the concept now? Thank you for watching this video, students.